And welcome back to the reassembly, folks. So you've done whatever you're doing with your motherboard. Yeah, you've done whatever you're doing with your motherboard. You listen to me, your mother would be proud. In my case, I've replaced the fan unit. I've tested it now. I know it works. Started just fine. I've also put new thermal paste on. So I'm done. But you may have took it out just to completely clean it out, put in a new battery, redo the thermal paste yourself. Whatever. So, reassembly, we will get the base plastics. I've already cleaned this, or as much as it's going to get, because it's whatever left on it now is just in a few areas that where it doesn't affect the heat. Same as the reverse procedure. Make sure your laptop motherboard is this way around with the fan in the top left. Clear any cables. Drop down, slide to the left. Give it a little shaky poke. A jiggery do. Make sure, there we go. Get the audio ports through. Drop it down. Should line up nicely. I know which screw I need. Make sure you use the screw right in the bottom corner, underneath the memory card reader. Okay, why is that going at an angle? Probably because I'm being silly. I say I know the screw. That's got to be it, because that's the only one there. There we go. You'll know if you're doing it wrong, just like me then, because it won't go in properly. Reattach the ZIF cable. If it wants to. There we go. Reattach the speakers. Make sure you don't trap your sellotape. Now you could get rid of that, but I'll just leave it there. It still kind of holds that wire down. Reattach the black wire. That's for the optical drive. Move over to the top right hand side. Reattach the power cable first, because it's underneath. Just makes it a bit easier. Drop it down. Drop the board back down, I should say, if you need to bend it up. Put the ZIF cable in. And the ZIF cable sort of sits on the bottom plastic as well, out the way. Next step, screen. I'll be giving this a quick clean before it goes back. Line up with the pins, the holes, all that good stuff. There we go. Put one or two of your screws in. Best not put them in tight, just put them in to hold it in place. Again, you'll know if it's slightly out because the screw won't go in. So sometimes, there we go. Doesn't have to be screwed tight, just a little nip, just to hold it in place. On either side, you can put the other screws in. Again, battery's running low, so let's nip them up. Right, screen cable on here again. Just lines up nicely. Slides over if you need to. I say that, but when you're ham-handed like me, it's always a bit more awkward. And when you completely miss, right? Keep her on there, man. Aha. There we go. And the cable, if I remember right, yep, there's actually a little run here, right in the top left leg. And it just sits in there, there's two teeth. You kind of forget that when you're taking it out. The wireless cable, run that under the power cable. Just keeps it all neat and out the way. If it wants to, give it. There's sort of a little, slight little cutout. Now, on your board, to put your wireless cable back through, it is the tiny square there. You should see some solid capacitors, the silver style, and it fits right through that, through a little channel there, if I remember right. Yep, that's the one. Where did it go in that? Don't think it really matters too much. Maybe it does, because that's where the CD drive runs. Anywhere in that general vicinity is pretty good though. If you can sort of see. Nope, because my finger's in the way. To there. It's really simple, you don't actually need to see that as that. Next, the top. This, nice and simple, just get it in line. Make sure you don't trap any of the ZIF sockets. And then push it down. You might need to close the lid. Snap the back on specifically on the side. There you go. Obviously you'll know you've got it right when you hear the odd snap here and there. That's the pins going back in place. We'll put in the two screws again. Screws back in. We'll reattach the ZIF cables for the power button. Do the smaller one first on this side. Can do a little fiddly, I think. There we go. The cable should be slightly recessed for the mouse, just because of how they've designed the case and everything. That's just how they've sat naturally in there. That doesn't look right. That looks a bit better. Right, close the lid, turn it around, commence reinsertion of the old screws. Doesn't matter what order you specifically do it. You can put these pretty much to full tightness as you put them in. Obviously don't over tighten them because you'll just thread the heads. And then you'll be left with no screws. The usual sort of thing. Any questions, please do ask. I should have stated that in the disassembly video. I know I'm not the best at these kind of videos, and I don't, like I say, have the best lighting or anything like that. But they're all here to help anyone. In fact, this is a very nice and straightforward laptop. No nasty surprises in this, so all you need is A really small screwdriver if you're repairing the fan, or just the standard Phillips size 0 I think this is. Don't know, there's no marker on it now, it's that old. And you can actually replace the whole screen unit. The keyboard, yeah, so that's about the only thing I think, to be honest, I would say you'd have trouble with. Right, we'll put the CD drive back in just because. Well, CD, it's DVD in that. This can be a little bit rough on this one, so I tend to find you've got to sort of give it a few taps in. Next, hard drive. This is a standard serial a.k.a. unit. It has its own internal style adapter for the power and information. These are rubber surrounds because it has no screws, so they hold it in place. It's just a case of dropping it back in, running the cable through, plugging it back in its part, which I seem to be having trouble doing with this time around. Now I'm recording it. When I stripped it down the first time, everything just went straight back in. Yeah, see? What the hell's going on here this time with me? Right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll plug it back in first. There we go. Yeah, this time I don't seem to be doing too well putting those back in. We'll stick the RAM back in. He has, the owner I should say, it is a guy. He's only running this with 4 GB of RAM. I think the max this can take is 8. It's DDR3. I think it's DDR3 1600. This is running. Not too sure if I remember fully, but that doesn't really affect me right now, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to actually get it up and running again. It's been about a week or so since you could use it, but that's actually not my fault. I've been waiting for the part to arrive. Right, this can be a little bit fiddly on this, so don't worry too much. You might end up taking 1 or 2 of the teeth off. Nothing you can do about that, I'm afraid. It'll just make it easier to get into it the next time. Come on. Let's undo that side, do that a little, and then try and... Yeah, it was a bloody pain last time. There we go. That should now snap. Yep. You might have to be a bit rough with that. In fact, looking at that, that didn't even bloody go in. Ugh. Why would they make it so stupidly hard? Ah, see, that's not gone in. It should be completely flush. I haven't bent the plastic. Nothing sticking out that shouldn't be. Not really. Maybe it has bent a little. I'm going to have a look at that. But for the process of this, let's get on with putting the keyboard back. Don't forget the keyboard. It's not been bent. Doesn't want to fit in properly. Anyway, keyboard. Almost forgot. So, I put the screw in the bottom just because it was out loose. We'll put the cable back in. Pop it down. Then, nice